Hey, how you doing? And welcome to Livewire Buy, Hold, Sell. I'm Ali Selby, and today we'll be analysing some of your top tipped small and mid-cap stocks for 2024. Plus, we've also asked our guests to name one small or mid-cap stock that they believe should have made your list instead. To do that, we're joined by Junbei Liu from Tribeca and Randall Janicki from T. Rowe Price. Let's get straight into it. First up, we have uranium up-and-comer Boss Energy. Its share price has risen a whopping 116% over the last 12 months. I wish I invested in that stock 12 months ago. Over to you, Randall. Is it a buy, hold, or sell?
It's a sell. I think of where uranium is today is where lithium was 18 months ago. So you've seen the uranium price up about 50+% in the last 3 months, for good reason, right? We know there's going to be increased demand, reactors coming back online, modular reactors are going to become part of the marketplace. But that's now in the expectation. The uranium price has now moved to a level where new supply is going to come on. So for us, it's a sell given the share price performance we've seen.
The majority of brokers actually disagree with you. 70% say the stock is a buy. It's quite crazy. Over to you, Junbei. Is it a buy, hold, or sell?
I'm more of in the hold camp because my view is that yes, the uranium prices rally because of the disruption, but we have the disruption from some of the largest mines in the world, and uranium supply is very hard to bring on. So that's why there's so much price tension at this point. My view is that ride the wave. We are increasingly seeing increasing amount of projects that's coming on that require uranium, I just feel you need to hold on to one of them because a lot of people saying it's a sell 50% ago. Just hold it until when we can physically see some of those disruptions being improved, or whether Kazakhstan is coming back online, or whether there's others that can do that. But physically, it's very difficult to actually bring those mines back online.
Okay, next up we have Sigma Healthcare, which has absolutely flown post the announcement that it would be merging via a reverse listing with Chemist Warehouse. Staying with you, is it a buy, hold, or sell?
For me, Sigma is a hold. I think it's a great business. I love Chemist Warehouse. I think they're doing incredibly well. For me, the business is a little bit mature, and we are going into a retail slowdown, and you're paying a bit of price for it. So for me, it's a hold.
Okay, the majority of brokers rate the stock a hold or a sell. Randall, do you think the stock is overvalued now? Is it a buy, hold, or sell?
I think it's a sell. I do agree that it is overvalued. The other thing to bear in mind is that there are some risks as well. So there's the risk that the ACCC doesn't allow the transaction to proceed because it's become a vertically integrated company, and there's some challenges there. And then the second one is a regulatory risk around its interest it has in New South Wales pharmacies, because the law only allows you to have 5, and it's got a complicated structure to try and get around that. So that's a real risk that I think people aren't pricing into the stock. So that's why it's a sell.
Okay, next up we have the ASX's biggest pure play uranium stock. It's Paladin Energy. Staying with you, Randall, is it a buy, hold, or sell?
I think it's a sell. And again, I would come back to the point that it's to say that uranium obviously is going to be part of the future in terms of moving to a zero carbon economy, but there's a lot of expectation now priced in. So uranium price has moved high. Paladin's obviously done incredibly well. It's restarting its mine in Namibia. Now, in a jurisdiction like that, there's always risks involved. So I just look at the risk reward at these sorts of levels, and it doesn't look attractive to me, so that's why it's a sell.
Okay, its share price has risen around 51% over the last 12 months. Junbei, over to you. Is it a buy, hold, or sell?
It's a sell. I much prefer to stay in the Boss Energy. We love the management, and with Paladin, it's just a little bit high risk to have exposure to the uranium.
Okay, next up we have Telix Pharmaceuticals, which is developing some really interesting oncology therapeutics. Staying with you, is it a buy, hold, or sell?
Look, Telix is a buy. I think, in terms of biotech, it's often very difficult for generic investors, but Chris is a fantastic manager for that business. He's very pragmatic, and he commercializes all the molecules. That company is a buy.
Okay, it's had a fantastic run over the last 12 months. It's up around 61%. Over to you, Randall. Is it a buy, hold, or sell?
I think it's a hold. Share price has done well, as you mentioned, Ali. I think that obviously there's a lot of expectation built in, but there's some prospect of approvals to occur in 2024, which I still think make it interesting, hence why it's a hold.
Okay, next up we have another biotech. It's Neuren Pharmaceuticals. Is that one a buy, hold, or sell for you?
I think it's a sell. It's a stock that's up 200% in the last 12 months. So this is more of a valuation call. It's not about the products. There's good prospects of its products in phase 2 trials, but I just think given where the valuations moved in the last 12 months, it's a sell.
Okay, over to you, Junbei. Do you agree? Is Neuren a buy, hold, or sell?
Look, Neuren is a buy. The reason share price is up significantly because it actually managed to commercialize one of its products and it's actually making money. In December, they had a really positive read for another product of theirs, and then there's a couple more to come. My view is that the addressable market is enormous, and this one certainly look like it's got a strong cash flow coming through, and it's hitting some of the data points.
Okay, we asked our guests to bring along their top small or mid-cap stock for 2024, one that didn't make the list but probably should have. Junbei, what have you brought for us today?
Okay, I've got the Light & Wonder. It is almost like a miniature Aristocrat, dual listed in the US and here in Australia. Now, this is actually set up by a team that's ex-Aristocrat, previous Aristocrat management team who's highly regarded. They came through and then they set up this business. One of the things we used to follow Aristocrat in early days is that if they launch a title, they always launch it in Australia and it does well, and we know in America generally does well where they do launch it. And this one, Light & Wonder, has some of the top, most of the top titles doing incredibly well here in Australia, and then in the US, we do think that they're up and coming, and then they are gaining a lot of shares, and it's got a very high growth trajectory to come, and the valuation is very reasonable.
Okay, over to you, Randall. Your time in the hot seat. What's your top small or mid-cap stock for 2024?
So my top stock for 2024 in mid caps or small caps is SiteMinder. And if you think about what they do, so they provide hotel management software to the hotel industry, more in the kind of the independent market, in the larger and smaller part of that market. And it's been a business that I would say has been a little bit sleepy for a while. They haven't engaged in a lot of product innovation, but now they are. So they're about to launch 2 new products, and it's more in kind of the revenue demand management space. So it's part of the market that they're not in. And the reason why this is important is that it creates a whole new revenue opportunity for them. And for their clients, it allows them to dynamically price their product real time. So it's really adding value to the client. And SiteMinder will clip the ticket. So they will now move to a revenue model that's more done on a percentage basis. So it gives them a greater revenue opportunity. And then if you look at the valuation for the stock, it's trading on 7 times sales, which to us is very undemanding. Typically, these sorts of businesses that are growing at 20 to 30% plus trade on at least 10 times sales. So we see decent upside in SiteMinder.
Okay, some really exciting ideas there. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Buy, Hold, Sell as much as I did. If you did, why not give it a like? Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're adding so much great content just like this every single week.